afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, August 26, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tomorrow night, Wednesday night, August 27, 2025, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to explain the current landscape, what's going on, what we're doing here in this country, the financial reset, and the applications involved with all of it. We have let's put it this way, we have a driver's seat and then we have a navigator seat. The driver is the spirit, and then the navigator is the body. And the body is driven by the spirit, but the void, the illusionary void, is that we're in a constant flux of not knowing that we are the God, that we are pure consciousness. Even though I say it, it's a big difference on having it sink in permanently and embrace it from a heart-minded direction. I say heart-minded because ego-mind would be a disaster. That's why manifesting comes through heart-mindedness and not ego-mind. Because if you go manifesting through ego mind, it's a disaster usually. And then we have all of these distractions, which are all illusions. Now, out of our curiosity, some of us are beginning to say, well, I know this is an illusion, but boy, does it feel real. Touch, sense, feel, through a body is really enticing for us. Feeling, touching, laughing, crying, happy, exuberation, sadness, all of it. Massive amounts of organic, physical emotions. Now, as gods, outside of these bodies, we don't operate. We aren't that way. We don't touch. We don't feel. We don't kiss. We don't hug. None of those things. We're in a different space of energetic, free form. And by being in this space, see, we don't have a comparison. How can you compare something that you don't know? You can't. What do we have to compare? We have the physical, organic body and the experiences that we have with this body. That's it. Now, we don't have the comparison of knowing that our true form it's basically a ball light. This is the simplest way to put it, as I've said numerous times before. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position with no outside distractions and relaxed into your body, still as a statue, focused on your breath, rising and falling. Now, where are we going? Well, eventually all of us will be there. But right now, there's few of us, the minority, that is moving very quickly, believe it or not, into immersing into the spirit, the God, the pure consciousness, the soul. Right? The God is within the soul, and the nearer we get to it, the more we begin to comprehend and embrace the fact that all of it, What I mean by this is life, this life that we call life, that we experience in physical, material, organic bodies. It's like this might sound strange. It's like a vacation for us, gods. This is why we come here so much. Because we're experiencing something that isn't real. And you know that sounds confusing to people. But we are experiencing things that aren't real. We're experiencing them through a body, right? And everything is holographically generated. And it's done to such a finiteness, it's minute, that for us, since we have the amnesia issue, all that we see is what we see and we take in from the baby body all the way up to adulthood and then beyond. To us, in that context, is real. You smell, you smell wood burning. You taste, you touch, you feel, and you experience. And it's one heck of a ride. And then there comes the point where we're done. And we leave. Now, that's a little twisted as well. Because, see, we don't have any verification, authentication, and confirmation of things. All we have is one side of the coin. And this is what we go by. This is why so many things seem out of kilter to some people on this planet. They go, they seem out of kilter. Not to complain or to judge, but to sense that things are out of kilter. Doesn't mean that it's not perfect or that it's not wonderful. It's just that some of us get that feeling that things just aren't aligned, so to speak. It's because of the fact that we have been trained for so long, generation after generation, even genetically, that we are literally pointed in the direction of the illusion as being real. So we base our decisions, movements, directions on that everything is real. When in actuality, it's the opposite. It's not real. It's like when you experience going into a holographic generated program, to you, everything, it seems real. You can touch, you can feel, you can smell, experience the whole program. But a flick of the switch, and it disappears. Isn't that wild? And it entertains the human part of us. This is what it entertains. Not so much the God. The God part, the human, the body, is the experience. Every one of us, in every split second, are experiencing the body. All the time. We never are not experiencing the body. This is why it's so ironic that the majority of us don't pay any attention, really, truly, to the body. See? But we should, so that we could be masterful of the body. Doesn't that make sense? To choose to master the body, which means that you're in complete in sync with the body as the God that you are. That you are not deferred or are redirected in a different way so that you are not consciously connected to the body. This way, we would choose when to leave the body. Okay? We would choose. It wouldn't be happenstance. It wouldn't be just all of a sudden, or it wouldn't just happen for whatever. we would master the body so we would keep the body in harmony with the God that we are. And by doing that, we would know. Okay? You make the decision on when you leave the body. Now, the real key here is that you've got to be in heart-mind in order for that to be facilitated. Can't be an ego mind. Ego mind is too insecure, never satisfied. It doesn't believe that it's part of the peace within, and so it seeks everything outside of itself, and the greed and the never-ending wanting. You ever notice that? Never-ending wanting. There's nothing wrong with wanting or having, but it consumes the ego mind. This is why so many people that you can view or watch on this planet never seem to be satisfied. They have $1 trillion or $1 billion, not enough, they have to have more. And then they have that and it's not enough, they have to have more. Or not enough power and not enough control and they have to have more. That's all ego mind driven. It's insecurity, right? It's anxiety, it's fear, it's frustration. This is all predicated from the ego mind. Indecisiveness. All of it. And the heart mind is the opposite. Peace, tranquility, benevolence, happiness, joy, whenever you want to tap into it. See, we can tap into happiness and joy. It's our natural state of being whenever we wish. It's within us. It's not out there. Many of us have found that out. We see for brief periods of time we're happy and joyous, and it fades out. And then we have to find something to fulfill it. Again and again and again and again and again. This is why we lose sight of the fact that we're in a symbiont relationship with this planet. And that we should highly regard the planet through heart-mindedness, as we do our bodies, through heart-mindedness. And this way, everything heals. And our direction is really, truly, to discover completely who and what we are, to master the ego mind, right? So it becomes our servant and we're not its. And we master our thoughts. And we're completely in heart-mindedness. And then we enjoy our lives on top of it. That's the roadmap. For years and years and years, last several years, I've been giving these meditations on a daily basis to explain that. Bit by bit, step by step. Every avenue you could possibly imagine and then some. To teach people how to move into heart-mindedness, right? And I'm not saying overnight, but the first step is to say, that's where I'm going. Okay? And to have total confidence, faith, and trust in yourself. And this universe. The universe is always there. We're never alone. We're never, ever, ever, ever alone. The universe is always there, helping us, guiding us, protecting us, all across the board. It knows better than we do. This is why a lot of people through ego mind will get impatient because they say, well, the universe is supposed to deliver this. Hasn't happened. Why not? Because the universe knows best. It'll be here when the universe deems things are in place to accommodate it. Period. You imagine what would happen if all of us were surrounded every day by people whose only interest was in achieving enlightenment. Okay? Imagine what it would be like. Our world would be very, very, very different. Yet, we have chosen a planet where everyone is still deeply asleep to their divine enlightened nature. In fact, we are all so asleep that we do not even know that we are asleep. Isn't that ironic? So, every human being is sleepwalking through this life, meaning that we are always plugged into the mind. The veil is so thick And the pattern is so deep that we need to use everything we've got to wake up. And this means using everything you can find outside of yourself and inside of yourself. Any real ecstasy is a sign you are moving in the right direction. Do not let any prude tell you otherwise. St. Teresa of Avila. Always seeking the God. Always. This is the position that moves us into heart-mindedness on a consistent basis. Always seeking the God. Always looking to find the God. Now remember, this isn't religion at all. Completely way away from religion. But seeking the God. What does that mean? It means you're seeking the God within you to discover that you are the God. Permanently. Not fictitiously or on a whim or a guess or maybe, but permanently. You're always seeking the God. And once you find the God, that you've discovered that that's what you are, and you're not the body. You're not the ego mind. You're not your name. You are not your position on this planet. You are not your belongings. You are not any of that stuff. You are the God. You are pure consciousness. You are an omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting abundant being that never, ever dies. You choose to inhabit a physical material form as it appears to us, to experience all that that form can offer. This is what we do. I don't believe any of us can say, oh no, that's not the case. Because you embrace your feelings, you know it's the case. So you look at, let's just look at the American people in this country. Enough of them have been focusing a lot on what they want. So a guy comes in and begins to carry out what they've been focusing on what they want. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Because they wanted things to move in a different direction. Elimination of drugs, elimination of baddies. Just like I said, being able to walk through your neighborhood unmolested, a quiet evening, taking a stroll. Anywhere in this country. And that's what you're going to end up seeing. And it's blissful from the fact that how did this come about? Collective consciousness. You're part of it. We all are. Focusing on what we want and what we don't want, and not what we don't want. And you're seeing how that is playing out. And how things are falling into place. Proof positive. Right? As long as you keep doubt out, right? As long as you keep your faith strong and your confidence strong within yourself and this universe, you're good to go. See, because it's when you become influenced by outside interference, which causes you to doubt. Once you doubt, you begin to focus on what you don't want. That's how it works. And, we're vulnerable to these bodies. And we should be. We should be open-hearted. And not all tied up, not all constricted and tight. Creating illusions of self-protection. That we have, all these boogeymen out there. And we really don't. Now, you can create them by focusing on them so that they become your reality. Period. And it always goes back to us really, truly, consciously, cognitively, comprehensively focusing on what we want, not what we don't want. It's almost like you stop yourself. When you go that way, when you go lower frequency, you say, not going there. I know it's all about, been there before many times. I'm going to take my energy, I'm going to put it in what I want. See, we spend a lot of our time breaking and destroying the bridges so we can't cross. Some of us, however, make the switch to building bridges so we can cross. Isn't that wild? You destroy the bridges and then you say, well, how am I going to get across? You're not. But you were focused on what you didn't want, and you got exactly that. Now, these folks over here are focused on what they want, so they have built bridges, and so they can cross and embrace and enjoy and discover their natural state of being, which is peace, love, joy, bliss, tranquility, benevolence. Big difference compared to what we've been taught how to be. And listening to our God, listening to the God, it doesn't mean it's going to carry on a verbal conversation with you. It's a feeling. Comes over you through the heart. It's indescribable feeling, off the charts. And that's who you are. That's the God. God communicates with you all the time. It's just that most of us don't know it. Don't pick up on it. And once you make that connection, because you will, you haven't already, when you feel like you might be making some form of connection to God, breathe that feeling deeply into your body. Stop everything. Give this experience all that you've got. Because it might not last long. And you notice how the feeling resonates with what's going on in your life. Find the practical aspects, like how does this simple, whatever it may be that gives you a signal, how does this advertisement, this being, whatever, give me the deepest guidance I'm needing in my relationships right now? Everything that you see is a message for you. I'm not kidding you. Everything you see is a message for you. I don't care if it's a dragonfly, a grasshopper, any kind of bug, a bird, an animal, is a message for you. We are receiving messages on a continual basis all the time. We just don't know it. We've got all the help we could possibly imagine and beyond, and assistance. We just don't know it, nor that most of us don't believe it. But all things in this energetic field is part of all things. So doesn't it make sense? You're part of all things. So all of these things, these energetic pieces, are communicating with you, giving you messages, right? Just on a continual basis. And it's very true. For instance, if a grasshopper flies up in front of you, right? What does that mean? What does a grasshopper mean? What is that energy imprint about? So you look, you go online, you say, what does it mean when I see a grasshopper? And it'll tell you. Or a ladybug. Or a butterfly. Or a bird. Or a hawk. It's a constant display of communication. You're an energetic frequency. They're energetic frequencies. Does it make sense? We're all in this ocean, this golden ocean of highly energetic energies, frequencies. And this golden ocean, it spans all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It encompasses everything. Planets, all star systems, moons, suns, you name it. Galaxies, everything. All energetic frequencies. All experiencing different forms. And once you begin to realize that you are part of that, so therefore you're plugged into it. You're never not. You cannot, let's put it this way, you're never not plugged into it because you're part of it. It's permanent. And what are we all doing? We are creating. It's as simple as that. We are creating. We as the gods are creating on a continual basis. We're manifesting things throughout existence and beyond. All the time. Things are forming. There's a universe right now, at least one forming. Right? There's planets forming. Life forming. So that us gods can inhabit it and experience it. Highly advanced, yet super simple. And basically, it's your choice. It is your decision. It is no one else's for you. Your decision. You make it. You choose, there's a plethora of choices. But doesn't it make sense as you get to know yourself more and more and more, and you begin to embrace the God that you are more and more and more, and you begin to move more into heart-mindedness, more in heart-mindedness than you are ego-mind, then your transformation is full swing. Even by me sharing this information means we're halfway there. And those that listen to the information means that they're halfway there. Super powerful, highly impactful for our direction. Because if anybody believes that we're going to keep this vibrational frequency, we stopped keeping it in third dimensional frequency. We've stopped. We're moving into higher and higher frequencies. And at an accelerated rate. This is why a lot of people say, wow, it seems like I just took a shower an hour ago, but actually it was a day ago. Or that I'm doing this. This is why I recommend, say, shift it. Do change a couple of things every day. Don't do them in the same order, because then it's not monotony. You don't get yourself into a thumb rut. Okay? Because you shift it, you shake it up. You don't do the same thing all the time. You do a little bit different here, a little bit different there. I'll do it this in this order rather than this order. Okay? And it's very beneficial. That keeps you what? Out of the rut. Out of that little spoon area for yourself. Because you're shifting, you're changing. It'd be drastic. But just little simple things. I do that every day. I change little things here and there. I don't do it the same direction, same way. I change it. Variety is the spice of life, right? And we have that option for each of us, for ourselves, to shift, right? After all, we have these lives. Isn't it best to enjoy them rather than, as you hear me say, fight them? Isn't it best to enjoy them, surrender, open up, be vulnerable, not fearful, embrace the now, because the now is all we have. The now is all we'll ever have. We don't have yesterday and we don't have tomorrow. We just have the now, moment to moment. Living moment to moment is super, super, super powerful. Because in the now is where heart-mindedness is. Okay? And yesterday and tomorrow is where ego-mindedness is. It's like I said, ego mind will not enter the now because it won't exist. That's why it stays in yesterday and tomorrow. That's where it exists. See, this is two sides of the coin. Ego mind is one side of the coin. Heart mind is the other. The one that's the least traveled in this species, this civilization, is the now. There's a little animation, cartoon, comic kind of strip on my website, the black and white. Maybe some of you have seen it. You see three windows, people lined up, right? And the one for the future is packed, big line of people having their futures told. And the one in the past, packed, a lot of people being told about their past. But the one in the center, the present moment, the now, there isn't one lined up for that. And that depicts heart-mindedness and ego-mindedness. And you can see where most of us are on this planet, ego-mindedness, not heart-mindedness. And that's why I talk about it so much. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain relaxed into your body. Still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. The deepest peace is within you now. All at the very core of your being rests a quiet, calm presence that is as vast as the ocean itself. When you fully relax, turn your attention inward, you allow yourself to sink beneath the forever restless waves of the mind. You enter the deep, still waters of pure being, where the most peaceful, healing experience of life effortlessly moves through you. Take a slow, deep breath right now and rest in the most gentle, compassionate feeling that you can find. As you soften into this tender space, notice how relaxation seems to pull you in. This is not happening from the mind, but from the very essence of your being. This relaxation asks for nothing. It doesn't try to achieve anything. It simply shines its light onto every burden and wound we are carrying. As we soften into it with time, it begins to mend and heal all of our pains. And soon, you remember the vast, spacious spiritual being that you always have been. True mastery over your mind arises the moment you make your inner peace more important than anything or anyone. Everything in this life will one day dissolve, but what will remain is the light of your soul, an eternal expression of love. This light is within you now. Give yourself permission to let go and relax deeper into it so that you can know the most sacred divine presence within. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We'll return here Wednesday, August 27, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest pure, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.